Hi everyone, Asian Steve Football back again with another video. Sameer, long time no see. How are you, sir?
It has been a long time. I'm well, thank you. I'm well.
Good, good.
Excuse the look. I am looking extra rough. I'm planning to sort myself out this weekend and get a haircut and stuff, but at the moment,
Hey,
I'm
man.
fully on uh,
You look
lockdown
beautiful
mode.
as always in my eyes, bro.
Damn,
All good.
damn, damn.
Excuse the wallpaper. I don't have the green screen today because El Natural, I guess. But let's move on to the video. We're going to be talking about Ozil, his situation with Arsenal, obviously getting left out the squads for the Premier League and the Europa. We're going to be talking about Van Dijk, obviously his long-term injury, and what that would mean for Liverpool. Do they need to? Well, they probably will need to get another centre back in January. But yeah, we'll start with Özil. What do you think, Samir? As obviously we're Arsenal fans. Um,
Yeah.
I can't say I was gutted, but I guess I am a little bit because I like him as a player. Um,
Mm.
what do you think?
It's
The thing
it's
is, like, it wasn't much of a shock, but we are paying this guy. He's our most,
yeah,
paid player. So, what's your thoughts on
yeah. It's um it's a tough situation, and it does it does not affect my personal life, but definitely my who I am as a person does come into it. The reason I say that is because I'm Muslim myself, and I'm not saying this because Oz was Muslim as well, but I'm saying the topic he spoke about all that time ago about China concentration camps,
it? Yeah,
and since he was left out of the squad, Ozil made a statement obviously about it, and he alludes to that being one of the major reasons that he's been left out. Now, since then, Arteta has come out and said that is one of the reasons, footballing reasons.
hmm
Um, I don't know if I believe it or not. If I'm being honest, I've always said to you, Julian, in our personal life, like you got to take people for face value. I feel like I have to stick to that because I keep banging on about it myself. So I've got to believe Arteta, but there is a small part of me that thinks there's something bigger at play here, and there's other reasons. It'd be quite interesting because what I'm suggesting in my head basically is saying that Arsenal were happy with it
yeah,
because they distanced themselves at the time anyway. Someone at the top has said like, I feel like there's been like some sort of argument between Ozil and the club about you can't do this anymore. Da, da, da. They told Ozil off essentially. Maybe Ozil's fought back in terms of
hmm
saying like not gonna shut up essentially. And then some of the tops are like, all right, let's make sure he doesn't play. Not make him suffer. Not those words, but
yeah,
let's take away the thing he loves football. And if that is what I'm suggesting, that means that Arteta has been told that, and Arteta hasn't stood up for the player if Arteta wanted him to play. Because the scenario before lockdown, like Ozil mentioned in his statement, was Ozil was playing
hmm
and he was back in the fold, and he was doing okay. He wasn't doing amazing, but he was playing. And then after lockdown, it all changed. So it's either Arteta's listen to the top, which is an interesting thought in itself because of the wider
yeah,
picture, transfers, etc., etc., or is genuinely a football decision. It's sad. I think that when it happened in the WhatsApp group, I did say that he's still one of my favorite players at Arsenal with Aubameyang. I would say, and he's not even playing. Like I know he doesn't fit a team that is suffering. If that makes sense. Like when a team's playing good, he looks amazing. When a
hmm
team's playing crap, he's one of the ones that stands out a lot. But there's brilliant the moments of magic that he still produces in his passes. Like that's what I love about football. It's everyone loves the goals, don't they? And I just like the passes, like watch passing compilation and stuff. And
yeah,
there's so many of his in there and stuff like that. And I miss that because the brain functioning and the brain power of these great passes, like the Pirlo's, the Ozil, Xabi Alonso, like that really like, amazes me, it stuns me. And
mm
how many games have we had this season? And this season, Junior, that we need creativity and like you think like, all right, don't start him, but like we could use it for 10, 15 minutes maybe, and
yeah,
like you could create that chance. But
exactly. I mean, even tonight, I just finished watching the Europa League game against Rapid
mm,
Vienna. We were shocking. shockingly bad. And to be expected, these teams that they'll just put four 8 players, behind the ball. Actually, they put everyone behind the ball tonight. And Ozil has, sometimes does have that key that can unlock the door, as they say. I think, yeah, like you said, ultimately, I think it does come from the top. Arteta knows his quality, so I wouldn't think that it would be his decision 100% to leave him out, as he said in the press conference. I think he's just protecting the bigger people up top. At the same time, I don't know enough of what he said to comment, but I feel like if it's the thing is with football clubs is when it comes to political stuff, it's very dangerous, and maybe they're just trying to protect themselves, but at the same time, you got with these things that's that's in line with like injustice and things like that, and it's blatantly wrong in the world. You should be backing your players, I guess. Not even backing the player, but backing the person. He was so deeply connected and affected by it.
I think some of people is. I'm saying people. I'm talking about myself here. I should say people. So this is mine, and this is not me knocking this at all. And Julian will know this as well. I'm not knocking this at all. But to me, it's a kill to like Black Lives Matter, and obviously the Premier League and everyone, all clubs are back there, and that's good. I'm not saying that's not good. I'm glad that's happening, and it's needed for such a long time for obvious reasons. But for me, it's a kill to that. I know this is not me saying that Muslims are all treated bad and all this kind of stuff. Obviously, everyone has their issues and stuff like that. But that was like a statement as well, and everyone backed it, kind of thing. And it's just a bit upsetting on a personal level to see club you support not backing something like that. Because I know a lot of people say like, why didn't Ozil leave and stuff like that as well. And there was like small rumors about like Saudi or the United Arab Emirates, that region being interested in some clubs and stuff like that. But if I'm being honest, if I'm Ozil, I'm staying as well. Like he said in his statement, he likes London. He just had a baby. I'm sure him and his wife are like settled.
Yeah.
And obviously the money helps as well and stuff like that. But I do think the bigger statement is I think he's staying on purpose. I think he knew that he wasn't going to play again and competitively, and he's like, all right, fine then. If you're not going to play me, I'm just going to stick around and make it difficult for me to leave, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I know should be the club, but I do back Ozil on that. And if you're picking sides and stuff like that, I think it's obvious the way I'm talking. I'm on Ozil's side. And like talking about the football on the pitch, I'm still not convinced by attack. I know it's my worry last season. It's my worry this season still. Like the patterns are not there. Even like Sheffield United, how many chances did we create really? There's like a bit of magic from Pepe, and it's like we're not creating enough chances and stuff like that. It's good you sort out the defense, but I'm still not convinced.
Like you say that, and you're not saying that if Ozil were to come into the team, all of that would be so. Sameer's not saying that, but he is our playmaker in the team. The most obvious one, anyway. There's obviously players we have that can do bits and bobs, but he is a specialist, I guess, back in the day, anyway. And like you say, there were rumors of bids coming in and whatnot, very good offers as well for him. But like you said, like, you can't just uproot your life and just move to a different country, especially families settled and whatnot. And these Arsenal fans, or just football fans in general, who say that he's just calling him every word under the sun. It's not his fault that Arsenal gave him this contract. And if back in the day when he did sign it, are you telling me probably some Arsenal fans probably just didn't like him and were sick of it, but I would think that majority of the Arsenal fans was really happy that he signed the deal, and they didn't care how much he was paid. You know, I think it was around the I think you said it in chat, in the WhatsApp. It was around the time Alexis left as well. So if we lost both of them, that would have been
the uproar.
Yeah, exactly. So people just need to stop hating on him because he's earning that much. Because it was Arsenal's fault that they gave him this contract. But yeah, it's I don't know. He's been tweeting as well during the game today. So I don't know what he's playing at. I don't know. He's not gonna get into his squad.
Yeah, I normally have a comment for everything. I haven't sat down and thought about it, but I can't. In the instant when I obviously saw him tweeting during the game, I couldn't work out what his reasoning is, because
it's not going to change anything.
No, it's definitely not going to change anything, but he's definitely doing it for effect. I feel anyway, and I might be because he's never done it before. First of all, and I don't know, because it comes across sarcastic. And I Julian, before we jumped to this call, we were talking about what we're going to discuss today. I did say to you, like, if I was him, I'd probably be the same. I'd just probably come out and say what it was. To be honest,
it's true though. Like, what, he can't get punished. I mean, he can get, like, they might fine him.
Yeah,
but it'd have to be a legitimate reason. He's just tweeting, and it probably is coming across sarcastic, but he's ultimately not doing anything wrong. He's saying, "Oh yeah, come on, boys, blah blah blah."
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. It's
like we'll move on.
Let's move on.
We'll move on. But he's a great player. The amount of joy he brought us that day he signed, and the amount of moments he brought us. It's sad that I don't think we're going to see him again play a game for us. I would at least like to see him one more game from him and stuff like that. But still one of our favourite players when he was not at Arsenal as well. So it will stay like that. My opinion hasn't really changed on that.
You say you was watching like videos of his passes, right?
Yeah.
I want one better. I was just watching a compilation of his first touch because it was just so good. Literally his first touch. Yeah. I still remember the deadline day when we signed him, his debut, that touch, and then the ball across for Giroud. Yeah, it was good memories.
Remember when you said this a lot actually at the time? Like, can you imagine if Ozil had players running that could actually score?
And now
at the time, obviously.
Now we do, and he's not playing. So it is what it is. Let's move on to Virgil Van Dijk. Had that injury against Everton. Pickford diving in like a madman. He's out for the season, right?
Yeah, he's out for the season. Should we talk about the challenge first? Because I think that's the first part.
Yeah.
So I was out at the time. Unfortunately, I missed a great game, obviously. But I've always seen the highlights and stuff of it. Did you watch it live? You did, didn't you?
No.
Oh, no, you didn't watch it live either. Okay. All right, so when you've seen it, what's your instant reaction? So because the highlight shows the bad angle for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not a bad challenge, but the angle you see is like straight close up. It's not like what you would see if you watched it live and you think.
So what I saw I saw the still picture first.
Okay.
Of Pickford's he's there, and Van Dijk's leg is bent back. I was like, that's a bad challenge. And it is a bad challenge when I watched the video. But then I think it was Rob Green there was another goalkeeper on Sky. I think it was on Sky Sports. He explained it that Pickford was actually looking at the ball. He's obviously aware that Van Dijk's coming towards him. He's obviously trying to make himself big, right?
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. It is a bad challenge. But these fans calling him to be banned as long as Van Dijk's injured or something, it's like nonsense, man. As Arsenal fans as well, I hate to go back to it. We went through, what was it? Diaby, Eduardo, and Ramsey breaking legs. None of this talk was happening. Maybe Twitter wasn't as big back then or whatever, or because we weren't the best team in the league, or those three players weren't as big of a stature as Van Dijk is to Liverpool. But it's just nonsense. These people having a go at Pickford for. It was a silly challenge, I guess, but
no, it was like it's a bad challenge. I'm not disagreeing with that. should be sent off, but because of the nature of the foul, he can't be sent off because it's off the whistle or something like that. I remember reading that somewhere. So that's that. Like bad challenges happen. Like it's just part of the football, unfortunately. And I know Liverpool fans and Klopp is frustrated. Like he's their best player, arguably, or probably is his best player. Because in terms of best players, I think he makes the most impact when he's on the pitch. When he's not on the pitch, and they're gonna be disappointed about losing. But they're definitely going too far. Like Julian, like, remember what I said to you? This is Dale Stevens from Burnley and not Van Dijk. Like no one's like saying anything.
If it was any other centre back, it wouldn't have this much publicity. It's because it's Van Dijk.
I think, yeah, it's because it's Van Dijk, and I think Liverpool fans have a right. I think it comes from worry rather than like, oh, okay, what's happening to our defense now? Like, we lost this player.
Yeah.
Like, who can we blame for this? Kind of thing. And they had the result yesterday against Ajax, and they stay strong and they got a clean sheet. They are definitely going to suffer, obviously, but Man City went without Laporte last season, who's their best defender. Liverpool will be without their best defender. So it'll be interesting to see how they cope with that. But yeah, like you said, I think Twitter fans are just going a bit overboard. I think they're just annoyed about the situation, how it happened.
Like don't get me wrong. Like if Aubameyang got injured, for example, or now Thomas Partey got injured, we'd be feeling as well, but we wouldn't be calling out unless it was intentional. That guy was like looking at the legs and just slid in like full throttle. Then obviously, then you'd have a right to be a bit more crazy. But yeah, these fans just need to relax themselves because it's being unreasonable now.
What do you think? So, how do you think this is going to affect Liverpool's shape? Because they went with Fabinho and Gomez. Do you think, because Matip's injured for a little while at the moment, do you think that's what it's going to be, the starting four?
It has to be. I don't know much of the youngsters Liverpool have. They sold Herva. To Wolves. I think he was a centre back. He was a centre back, right back. So that's an option gone. So yeah, the obvious ones would be. I think even if Matip was fit, I'd put Fabinho in there still, unless Klopp wants to play him in midfield. But
low key, put James Milner there. You know, this guy plays everywhere.
Milner is OG, man. He can play. Just stick him up front. Put Firmino as centre back, man. Anything. But no, Klopp will have. It's bad, man. It's bad. Like no one wants to see any player get injured, especially a top tier world class defender like Van Dijk. Is it gonna dent their title challenges? I don't know. Because Man City's not looking great either. They're conceding goals for fans as well.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, Liverpool did concede 7 goals with Van Dijk in defence, so maybe.
Say no more, bruv.
It might be a blessing in disguise.
But you never know. You never know. They might promote someone from the youth.
Yeah, I think they'll have to.
Yeah, look at Trent. He was promoted from the youth, and he's probably the best right back in the world right now.
As we're talking about Liverpool, there's been a bit. There's the conversations come up about Firmino again. Really struggling to find the back of the net at the moment. Obviously, he doesn't necessarily need to because Salah Mane, but I still think, like I've said it loads of times, like Firmino's one of my favourite players. Probably top 10 at the current list, talking about like players playing. But there's a little worry about him not scoring enough goals, and I think he needs to contribute a bit more than that. I know he contributes to the whole shape of it all. I don't know.
Why now, though? Because he's been like this for the past since he's joined Liverpool, really.
I know, but I've in the same breath of saying like Firmino, obviously, how good he is and what he brings. I've always said they needed that striker. Still, like I mean, obviously Werner, they're trying to get, and that would have been interesting. Because I think Werner would have been on the bench initially, probably, or if not, Firmino drops back, which I thought might work well. I still do think they need that striker.
Do you think I don't know. If they got Werner, do you think they'd have gone for Thiago? Because Firmino would probably drop back into a 10, right?
Exactly. Probably not. No, now you say it out loud, probably not. So that is so what's your opinion on it? Are you, because you obviously said to me like he's been doing this for years, so are you like there's nothing to worry about kind of thing?
As long as look, that's the thing. That's not really his game. His
Mm,
game's link up play, and he does that
mm,
probably better than anyone else in the as a forward number 9 player. He probably does that better than anyone else in the league. And
mm.
as long as Mane and Salah's just carry on banging the goals, I think when Thiago comes back, his creativity is gonna be crazy as well. So they're gonna have no issues creating chances. Whoever finishes them off it doesn't really matter as long as someone does, which they will.
We're going on for a little while here, so Julian, we'll end on one more thing. Your favorite subject, obviously. Talk about Harry Kane being the new Kevin De Bruyne of the Premier League. So I thought we'll quickly touch on Harry Kane and Son. Like their partnership is they're in like amazing. Started the West Ham game so well. Obviously, what happened. Well, great goal by Lanzini, but it's interesting that Kane's been deployed deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's always, in my opinion, he's always had that passing talent.
Yeah.
But it's just obviously turning to assists now. Like it's actually turning to assists, and he's looking for someone quite actively when they're like the first goal, like straight away, like he's in his own half and he's like looking for Son kind of thing. It's quite an interesting partnership, and saw Bale come on and they conceded 3 goals. So
If he scored, that would have wrapped it up. But oh well. That Lanzini goal, I'm not gonna lie. I was watching it on repeat for like 5 minutes.
what a goal, innit?
What a bang! Coming against Tottenham in the last second as well, just that much better. But like, yeah, give Moyes credit because when we first looked at the fixture list, we were like thinking this might be a Crystal Palace thing, because I don't know where they're going to pick up points. Maybe Newcastle, but they lost the first game, and then they still have a crazy fixture list.
Yeah, they still got
but picking up points against Tottenham away, Leicester away.
We should have beaten them. In my opinion,
we got very lucky against them away as well. So give Moyes credit. He's getting the players playing, and Ben Rama coming into that.
I'm looking forward to watching him play.
Me too. Some people say, I haven't really seen him play, if I'm being honest. He also had a great season in the Championship. Ollie Watkins, former teammate, he got a hat trick against Liverpool, isn't it? But
yeah, hat trick.
He hasn't scored since then, so let's see if he can make the step up. So we'll
you touched on Watkins, like what a start for Villa as well, by the way. Brilliant start.
Yeah.
Martinez looking good. Grealish looking amazing. Like it seems to.
Grealish, man. I don't know if I should put him in my fantasy football team. I see a lot of people doing it, but I'm still on the fence.
He's in my team at the moment. He's in my team at the moment. Yeah. Because when I was, because I took De Bruyne out, put Son in, obviously. Just because De Bruyne is injured, it looks like he might be back, but we never know. And then just the money I left over was like he was the best equivalent. I would have gone with James Rodriguez, but I was like 0.2 off, so Grealish was the natural one, and it might have paid off because James is injured now. So
it's so annoying. But that's for another video.
We're gonna go for another hour to fantasy football. But yeah, I think that's it for me. So I know, as Julian will say, like the video, subscribe. We obviously took a bit of a hiatus just because of things off the camera in our personal lives and stuff like that, but hoping to be back and talking a bit more about these topics that come up and certain things. And it's the Premier League, so there's always something to talk about, referee decision or a red card or something like that. So yeah, subscribe, notification bell, and come back with more. But it's a bye from me.
See you guys.